Hello, wherever and whenever you are, and welcome back to Phoenix Iwaki. Welcome back to the Underdark. Welcome back to the Sverfneblin city of Blingdenstone, which is very relaxed and pleasant at the moment to the Sirenscape. But I hope that everyone is doing very, very well. Thank you, first and foremost, for that raid. Lovely way to start. Heroes and Hooligans, thank you very much. And also, if I am remembering it right, thank you for the Twitter follows as well. I hope everyone had a fantastic session. Let me give you a shout out over here, see what was going on. Heroes and Hooligans. No, hang on, is that a 0? Might be a 0. It looks suspicious. I'm gonna try it with a 0. Am I gonna get this right? Attempted. Shout out. Yes, they've been playing Nations of Just. Haha! Try and trick me with those zeros. I see, yeah. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you in. I hope you're very well and enjoyed some Dungeons and Dragons over there. What were you playing? Right, okay, folks. So, we are here for Out of the Abyss, and it has been a while. Hey, Dragon at Risk, good to see you again. Thank you, everyone, for joining us already. Daisy, Cos, good to see you. And thank you for the follow, Mojojojo. And who else have we got nicking around? Phantom, good to see you. Thank you. And there was another follow whilst we were still offline. Who was that? Star Rapidash, thank you very much. And Ghost of Frog as well whilst we were off. That was someone I played with, Bolly's Firesmith, the other day. I remember that was a fun session. Thank you. And all of you over there. Hey, Star Rapidash, I see you. Okay. Love from Canada for that sassy boy on the bottom with the wink. That's you, mate. There you go. On cue. Thanks for joining us, Star. I hope you enjoyed the session. Right, now, yes, we are jumping into our session here. Thank you to everyone who's joining us, and those of you catching up with the VODs in the VOD squad later on as well. Thank you for joining us on our adventures wherever and whenever you can. First and foremost, let us say a big shout out to the wonderful CZRPG right here. They have fantastic encounters and designs and maps and items and monsters and things and beautiful things that you can grab over on their Patreon, and you should definitely give them a look. And you can play them as one-shots or drop them into your campaigns. Really, really cool stuff. And they are sponsoring us and giving away their very recently released Encounters in the Underdark for one of you lucky people. So please do type in !enter, and you can get your chance to win that at the end of the session, which will be a couple of hours from now. Now, that said, let us also say a massive thank you to Sirenscape, sirenscape.com, for a free 30-day trial of their awesome sound effects and music. And there are other types of music that we like to use as well, other places and sources. If you head over to our YouTube channel, thank you, Sarcastic Kiwi. If you head on over to our YouTube channel, you can see the information boxes, which all have the links for those various channels, so you can check them out there. One of our channel favorites, the Wioza Collectif, who are the source of our Vistani battle music in Barovia, have just released some new songs that I was enjoying very much as I was driving through the Japanese countryside this morning, with the windows all down and the music blaring. It was a good time. Okay, Dragon at Rest. The DM art is pretty wicked with the glowing eyes, isn't it, Dragon? Yes, this is the only, of all the various artists that we've used, this is the only one that I also asked to do my own artwork. Let me give you a shout out here whilst we're on the subject. Out of the Abyss art. Boom. There they are, Saladman, aka Ryutoshi, over on Instagram. And they are currently in the process of creating something new. Because, and not only do I welcome all of you into the channel, fine people, but also we welcome a returning player. I nearly said new player, but that wouldn't be accurate. A returning player. Those of you with a long and storied history with Phoenix Iwaki might remember a certain Vulpin artificer by the name of Pistol, who wreaked havoc through Baldur's Gate and then onwards as the spirit of a dearly departed Vulpin, occasionally returning to do Torm's good work down in the Nine Hells in our Descent into Avernus game. Mike, welcome back to Phoenix Iwaki, and it's an absolute pleasure to see you.
Oh, it has been a pleasure to return and to hang out with these wonderful people. Just as a quick aside, you might have seen me lurking through a couple of games as Graham_Samson.
Thank you.
I've been playing with John for a couple of years. He's a wonderful human, a wonderful DM, and looking forward to playing again.
Cheers, mate. Okay, thank you very much. Now, we are going to be jumping into our story so that we can get Mike not only on screen, but in the game as well. Cause, thank you, my friend, for that sub, mate. 13 months. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Cannot wait to get back to Candlekeep. Well, nearby Candlekeep. Tomorrow. Tomorrow? No, Saturday. Ignore me. Okay, right, so as we are going to get into the story here, last time we were down in the Underdark in the Sverfneblin Deep Gnome city of Blingdenstone. We were doing some shopping and basically getting ready to take a journey as our adventurers had done all the good that they could in Blingdenstone. They had driven out the foul elemental evil force that was corrupting their earth elementals, and the evil drow priestess that had changed into a Medusa off in the caverns on one side. They had forged treaties and created good diplomatic relations with the were-rat Sverfneblin that were off in another section, and two of their friends over here. Where's my roll 20? Oop. Two of the best friendos were happy to stay, as they are also affected by that were-rat lycanthropy, and they were very happy to find like-minded, cursed, but happy with it, other Sverfneblin, and they have joined them there, as has Jimjar up there next to Esmeralda, also finding his home and returning to Blingdenstone, leaving the party to a slightly more reduced group, which is nice as we have a new member coming in. Hey, Moonclad. And oop, here we go. Here is our new reduced, streamlined party. Here we go. So yes, we have our adventurers Zakarn and Corbin, along with the illustrious Elora, illustrious, who is not here today, unfortunately, but will be returning to us very soon, and her ex-bandit friend Esmeralda, as well as the elven prince cursed and transformed into a Quaggoth, Prince Derendil, and then the shield dwarf Eldith that they are helping get back to the dwarven citadel up on the surface of Gauntlgrim. And then there are the friends they made along the way, as compulsory friends you make along the way in the thing here. And we have our giant spider who was first to join the party, Webster, as voted by you, dear watchers. Thank you very much. Then the next to join the party was Glabagul, the gelatinous cube, who was stuck in the oozing temple and had been made sentient by some strange means. Probably some of these crazy, chaotic, abyssal forces that have been rising up from the depths of the Underdark. And then, last but not least, the egg that they had been carrying from the Durgar city of Gracklstug hatched in a glorious blooming of flowers. That's me saying the Japanese, sorry. I was trying to say fireworks. Sorry. Hanabi in Japanese, flowers of fire, quite literally. Excuse me. The blooming of the fiery birth of Charcushio, our red dragon wormling. So, oh, thank you, here's very nice. What race and class is Corbin? Oh, don't worry, Dragon at Rest. We will be on that in just a moment as we introduce these fine people. So, as we return to a post-shopping, all shopped out, so the archetypical, back to the foaming mug with all these bags in each hand, like, dun, 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 dun. Got all of your potions and your magical items and all your bits and bobs, all of that well-gotten gains spent in the various shops and stalls of the Blingdenstone market, amongst all of those petrified mushrooms and things that are there. And you return to the foaming mug. And that is where you find your friends, Esmeralda, Prince Derendil, and Eldith, this reduced party of NPCs, which Out of the Abyss is infamous for its huge amounts of NPCs. We have it down to a pretty manageable level right now. So, let us meet all of these fine people here. Zakan, maybe a little more detailed than usual. Let's get a bit of class and race and everything in here. Who are you in real life? Who are you playing? And where are they at right now?
Hello, I am Steven, and I am playing Zakan, our Asimar ranger slash cleric, and I guess a resident grandmother of the group, saying, don't eat that, don't drink that, all that sort of stuff.
Corbin.
It's not just Corbin, though.
True.
For over 100 years, Zakan has been in the Underdark. They're a native of the Underdark, with the divine mission to find those who are lost and guide them to where they need to be while vanquishing evil and bringing the light. So they've been trying to do that. Things are getting out of hand, though.
Indeed. Well, when the Abyss becomes a factor, it's often the case.
Corbin, yeah, they haven't had to deal with the Abyss before. That's new.
Corbin, still with your blinged out frame here, with all of your inspiration crystals spinning around there. Who are you in real life? Who are you playing and where you at right now?
Well, in real life, I'm just a simple buns, and
there's no such thing.
There's such thing. They're simple.
Such.
They're buns. Hit me. But you, here in this lovely land, I play Corbin because in real life, other than playing the few characters that I do, it don't do much. So Corbin, who is a changeling druid / monk of the Way of Mercy. I think we decided on, yes, for druid / monk Way of Mercy. And they walked into the Underdark on purpose, more so to get away from their, fence / assassin family. Don't worry about it. They didn't want to do that.
Family.
They are delightful as long as you pay them on time. That's important. The on time part is important.
And as long as someone doesn't pay them to cause you some trouble.
Yeah.
So yes, just be on.
That's not me anymore. That's
be
not
on their good side and be on the good side of everyone that knows of them. And then you're good.
There you go.
See? Easy peasy. Okay. And last but not least, a slightly reduced form, Mike. Who are you in real life?
Hi,
Only.
I'm Mike. That's all you're gonna get for now. And you will see who I'm playing in a couple of minutes.
Indeed. Right. Now, as you have all returned to the familiar tap room and stone benches of the let me hang on, got the quick thing here. Open up you. Okay, so yeah, as you return to the familiarity and the warmth of the foaming mug, Esmeralda, Darendil, and Eldith look up, and they kind of ruefully smile and kind of laugh a little bit. And it's Darendil stands up and it's strange to be rolling so thin. But well, I can't really complain, can I? I'm destined to leave you myself someday as we return to the surface and to those that I should rule and have my responsibilities towards. Right? Elora? Responsibilities? At which point Elora goes, "Oh, no thank you," and just walks away and disappears for the rest of the session.
Laura just giving him the silent
found a way to just disappear from the conversation whenever Darren starts talking.
Oh, Phantom, thank you, Mike. Phantom is a very generous and lovely person in our regular viewers community here, and has sent you an inspiration crystal already.
The best Phantom, thank you.
You get an inspiration crystal before you get a character out. Yeah, right. You carefully
Maybe
don't
we
know
don't
how he's going to use
it.
You never know. You may have made a costly mistake.
He's gonna wipe us out.
Yeah, Dragon Race is like, we don't even know what he is. He's
Wait.
Sarcastic Kiwi's like, he's a Mike. He's a level 3 Mike.
Look at him, he trusts me.
Already a level 3, dang.
Yeah, he's going strong. Okay, no, he's same as you guys. Don't worry, I wouldn't do that to him. This is not old XP advancement days where you party at all different levels.
Yeah, we're gonna spend the next couple sessions just grinding before we go to the surface. There's some low level mobs,
Okay.
I feel like Corbin at this point would be, kind of think the last thing we were doing last time was figuring out which like caravan we were going to be joining.
Yes.
To actually like go up top
Mhm.
after deciding that we were indeed actually going to do that.
Yes. Are you going to talk with Quartermaster Seni, who's in charge here?
Yeah, see, that was like the big argument. Not argument, but yeah. Let's
I think it
just
was
say
in the
we do
morning we were going to go there.
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
we've packed up everything from the foaming mug.
actually, we can make this simple, can't we? Tappy, the barkeep here at the Foaming Mug, she's like, she looks across the room. She like looks to Corbin, looks to Zakan, looks to Corbin. Zakan, I have a letter for you.
Oh, that's rare.
Oh, it's from Quartermaster Seni. Not from
Yeah.
Farfield, I'm afraid. Were
They
you
open
expecting anything?
And they look at it for a moment and kind of
Sorry,
nod.
forgot my Scots accent. Sorry, it's not from Farfield or anything. Sorry, were you expecting something?
No, I never received any letters. So, I mean, this is...
Yeah,
unique.
I know. Isn't it absolutely shocking how terrible the postal service is down in Inderdark? Ugh.
Well, you know, they're underfunded, and it's a difficult job.
I see to
I had a
did
brief
the
stint doing it.
Underdark Postal Service underfunded. UPS, oh, it's terrible.
You think they're running because they delivered your package, but they're just running.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, there is the seal of the Digamatok family on the wax seal there, and you break that open, and inside are the details of the caravan that will be traveling with you on the most decently direct route to the surface, heading in that direction. And I think we figured out last time, didn't we, that it was going to be up. Oh god, which part of the? Where's my map? Sword Coast map. Come here. Sword Coast map, which is also giant, so it might take a while. Hang on. It's going to take a while. Oh no, it's pretty fast. Okay, so yeah, they warned you. They warned you. Sorry, they told you that they know of tunnels that lead up to the mountains on the northern edges of the Evermoors, to the west of Silvery Moon and the southeast corner of the Lurkwood. And if you travel east from there, you'll find yourself heading over towards Long Saddle, Morgar's Mound, and eventually the range of mountains that contains Gauntle Grim. And also contains Mount Hotanau, which is where Cos and Daisy over there in chat began their Candlekeep Mysteries journey. So, you you're led to believe that this caravan or members of this caravan's retinue will come and claim you in the morning, and you are bade to prepare your things and be ready to travel. So, is there
So
anything
we-
you'd like to do, or just rest up?
Yeah, I
this
think
is after all the shopping and that we were like crashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did our night before, and I think as much shopping as we could do
Yeah,
here.
remove those levels of shopping exhaustion.
Yeah. So we loaded up on a couple of a couple of things,
Mm-hmm.
including finally some potions of healing.
Hey!
Better late than never.
What an original thought. Okay. Actually, sorry guys, I can actually show you this, can't I? If I do this should work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here's the sorry, not you guys back home. Oh, you got a nice zoomed in corner window where the dice roller usually is. Look at that. You get the zoomed in section. I wonder if I can get it in the right place. Where would it be?
Trying to have it be a thing when I was rolling all them death rolls.
Okay, so... sorry, folks. So here's the Evermoors. And here's Silvery Moon. And then up here are the mountains, there near Settlestorm. And then this is the Lurkwood. Yeah, the Lurkwood. And only time will tell. Good to see you, my friend. I see the party made the right choice and have Glabagal with them, I hope. They certainly do. Only time will tell. Glabagal is friendo. The red dragon wormling stolen from Greckelstug is friendo. Giant spiders found along the way is friendo. We are stocked.
Right, Darendale said we're rolling kind of thin. I could get more pets.
So Spine of the World Mountains there. Look, Buns, it's Raven Rock. I can hear Mummy's voice calling through the mountain valleys. Come here, you get right back here. Corbin, Marshall, James, you get right back here.
So many names. No, they were all cover names at some point. They just go through the list. They forgot which one is actually my names. They just
just randomly. Some of these are the real ones.
Some of them.
It's like, you get back up here and get back to assassinating right away. Oh my gods. Okay, so no, it's close on this map, but it is a good distance away. You'll be fine.
Say that, man.
Don't go to Luskan. Your mum definitely has loads of contacts in Luskan.
I think Darendale's stuff was
in the
nearby to where we'd be exiting as well, right?
Yeah, in the Lookwood here, if we look at the main map, so between the mountains where you'll exit and the direction you're headed in is the Lookwood, and in the depths of that wood there is the High Elf settlement that is purportedly Prince Darendale's home.
Presumably he could guide us there.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Darendale should be the first stop. Noted.
I mean, if you wish, all of his fine stuff silent. Kevin, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. By the way, everyone who's followed us today, thank you very much, first and foremost. But also, we will be sending you the followers Discord invite once we go offline in your Twitch whispers. Please keep an eye out for that. And I've changed it. I figured it out. I leveled up myself. I figured out how to make a permanent link that doesn't expire. So never fear, fine folks. You can. I wish I'd bloody done that. Like on our first anniversary a year ago is when I first started the Discord and invited everyone who followed us. But then like people just don't look at their Twitch whispers, right? Very much. So a bunch of them just timed out and just weren't able to get in there. But if only. Silent Kevin, although I don't play D&D as much as I used to, I still like to create homebrew campaigns for my old D&D buddies. Nice. I'm glad that's something that's been a through story with you and your friends there. That's awesome. Hey, Daisy. What's Daisy saying? Corbin's mum, like they folks, ain't just gonna assassinate themselves. I know, right? These people aren't gonna kill themselves.
Stop. It's my backstory.
Oh, we're getting
People
close
ain't
to
gonna
it.
kill
We're coming
themselves.
around
Well,
now.
I ain't killing them neither. And then I walked into the Underdark.
We've been in Zakan's domain for too long. It's time for
Yeah, you're right.
time for some Corbin story.
We're good. Okay, and then we will be heading over here to Gauntle Grim and Mount Hottenau,
Yeah.
which is apparently legitimately in lore a pun on "Is it hot enough for you?" It's just
So
this huge.
in like
That's why-
talking to Quartermaster Zenny, like are we like discussing this area and like a map or something?
That's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, when you first talked about it, yeah, this map was laid out on the stone tabletop amongst all the other ones.
Yeah.
I just love these maps. And then you jump into the Forgotten Realms wiki and look what just like dive into each of the names that pops up on the map here. It's just like, oh, what's in this place? Oh, what's in this place? This is why I love playing in the Forgotten Realms. Lots of people are like, oh no, homebrew world. But no, I just love like finding out all the little bits of lore and then adding to it, because now Raven Rock is Corbin's home at the moment, but it didn't used to be. It used to be a different monastery for a small sect of undying elves, much like the Eberron ones, the undying courts in Eberron, which the famous Lady Vanta Blackspire of Strad von Zarevich suppression fame was originating from as well. So she was the last. She lived in that monastery by herself until it was abandoned, and then Corbin's family was like, oh, real estate.
Free real estate.
Give me. Okay. Yosh. So,
So yeah, I think I'm sort of reviewing the journey as we're packing up and stuff.
Yep.
Zakan, says to the group, I'm sorry to say that our time of relaxing baths and short jaunts across the city are coming to an end. We're going to need to put a good deal of walking in to make it to the places that we need to go in a timely fashion. The clock, such as it is ticking, and we need to secure whatever surface resources and allies that we can and make our way back down here with haste.
Wait, I'm supposed to do that too? Was I involved in that part too?
You have some experience in building networks and connections, I believe, and, well, if what I see here is accurate, your home is quite close by.
Home is a very strong word. But yes.
Your
And
point of origin.
yes, it is close.
Do you
You're
think
not
that the
wrong.
monastery could be counted on to rise up against an abyssal threat? I know that they're not the most savory from what you've described, but, well, if what I saw in the vision given to me is true, it affects everyone.
I like you, Zakan, so I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm gonna ask you the same questions that my mom will ask, most likely, if you live long enough to be introduced to her. 1, how much would this cost? Don't say saving the world. Someone else tried that, and I'm pretty sure I almost died. The second question most likely will be, is there a possibility she could get shoes from it? Just say yes, even if it's a lie. I'm helping you. And then please request that I stay with you, because I don't want to know what's gonna happen when I'm in a room alone with her for more than 5 minutes, because I like my fingernails. I worked hard. I grew them myself.
Equal parts helpful and foreboding.
Then I did it right.
Well, we shall cross that bridge when we come to it then.
And
think-
set it on fire on the way out.
If that is your wish, I know these things can be complicated, although I, well, don't have much experience with family such as it is.
So what else are we doing? It's like they're trying. This is like, it's for as smooth as Corbin normally is. This is the most uncoordinated they've been in trying to navigate, especially a conversation.
I think Zakan just takes it at face value. Like, they don't pick up any of like the subtleties that like Corbin's uncomfortable, but like the question, they're like, well, our next plan of movement is to join the caravan that Quartermaster Zenny has arranged for us and make our way to the surface. That will still be some time before we can get there. And
Are
I
we
think
going to be counted as the caravan's guards, or are we just part of the caravan?
in that we would be contracted or paid, I don't think we are serving as guards, but should any danger be encountered, it's in our best interest to avert it. I would like it to just be a quiet journey to the surface.
Me too.
I've mentioned this before, but usually it is quite uneventful getting people to the surface.
This has been a lot for you, hasn't it?
I mean, granted, I've been in and out of prisons for the past 2 decades, but I don't think the Underdark's changed that much.
Just the occasional demon lord kicking around.
Yeah, just
damn it.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like they're interested in a scraggly band of merchants trying to get out of the Underdark.
Oh, demons will kill anything. Don't worry.
Yeah. So we
Now.
make our way to the surface, and then I think perhaps deliver Darendelle to his people.
Oh, yes, that would be much appreciated. Thank you, Zakan.
Well,
I do hope that society has not crumbled in my absence.
that
So
would
do
be
we.
very worrisome. Do you think that it has?
Oh no, I have very reliable aides, I'm sure.
And you do feel
aids?
confident that you could acquire the assistance of your kingdom in countering what's happening down here?
Of course. All of the kindness and goodwill you have shown me, they would be at a
That
loss
is
and lacking in social graces if they were to dare so much as question the exemplary. Yes, they will.
Okay.
I think I attempted this before, but I'm gonna roll another insight check on him.
Okay.
It's not Zakan's strongest suit because they don't people very well. Oh, that's a good roll though. That's a 21 in total.
Okay. Yeah, he completely believes what you're saying. Yeah.
So he's absolutely confident. All right.
Yeah, he was just bumbling over his words.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that's all it was. And we know that we're going to be meeting up with them, or they'll come claim us in the morning. And we could, yeah, we said we were going to go to sleep until the morning so we could. I don't think tonight is a night for us to have one last huzzah at the bar.
No, we will be
Hungover
on the road
trip
once
in the
again.
morning.
I would advise a nice bath, which is what I will be doing, and as much sleep as you can get on a bed. I think it'll be some time until we arrive at Darendel's kingdom, at least, before we encounter such luxuries.
Okay. So Corbin's going to go in their hammock with Webster and Charcuterie. It's the warmest place in the entire world.
You're having your evening meal
Mm-hmm.
first. And let me quickly grab something here. Tappy brings out some battered and fried steaks of mushroom. nice mushroom steaks with some wild mushrooms on the side, and some mushroom flour bread, and a nice mushroom stout.
Look at this wonderful mushroom feast.
For the course.
Oh, those ones are truly wonderful.
And
Good for the digestion.
the stout is quote unquote just a bit too flat. But not the stout is particularly carbonated.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I want one of those real bubbly stouts.
Nice
no.
fizzy stout.
Yeah.
That's the one to be worried
Bubble.
about. Okay, Streamlabs, calm down. Right. By the way, actually, sorry. Streamlabs reminded me there. So this is a new thing for us. So I'm not accustomed to doing the proper spiel for it yet. The wonderful Gelatites and those folks over at Nathrax 3D Minis have given us a 15% off code for all of you fine people to use in the store over there. So head on over and use the code Phoenix Iwaki and grab some fantastic 3D printed miniatures. Okay. Now, outside in the streets of Blingdenstone, as the victorious Sverfneblin starts to go back to their regular lives of trading and gem polishing and mining and training with the new reformed Borough Guard, a long-limbed, pointy-eared fellow, armored and hooded, stalks through the streets. The glint of steel flashes on their belt. Their eyes, hidden beneath the hood, do not betray their purpose. Sverfneblin, unlucky enough to cross their path, gasp and quickly usher their children out of the way and rush indoors, closing the Zirkwood timbered doors frames tightly behind them at the sight of a drow walking through the streets of Blingdenstone. Escorted by 2 borough wardens, which is why a general alarm has not been sounded. Carlo,
Hello. Yep.
Thank you. I'm gonna find Drist, is that you? Not quite, not quite. Something even better. Kalo. What is it that these nervous First Neblins see, and that the equally nervous Beauregard glance shiftily from the side of their eyes as they escort you towards the foaming mug? Please describe your character.
So, kind of skulking through the street, you see about 2.5 Snurfneblins tall. You see what looks to be a very thin figure, despite the fact that they're armored, and clad in this very obsidian-looking armor, and just kind of gazing under the hood. You see this figure stalk towards you, stop for just a moment. Takes a few seconds to look specifically at Zakan. Draws the hood back. And what you can see is this bronze-skinned half-drow, a scar running from the top of their chin all the way to the gaunt of their cheek on the right side, with a shock of white hair drenched through black shades of oily, long hair. Looks over at Zakan, and the pace picks up, leaving the other guard behind. Immediately shares a suspicious raised brow. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause disturbance. Have you always worn that mask?
I think, unless they were being sneaky, and it sounds like they weren't with a good 16 passive perception, they noted that approach, but didn't stop drinking their overly flat stout.
Thank goodness.
And so just very slowly, they turn and, from where they're sitting on the bench and look up at this person, have a kind of uncomfortable second or two to take them in, and then nod. And they say, "Yes, since as long as I can remember, I've had it."
And you wouldn't have come into possession of this mask recently. You've always, for years, had this.
Yes, for, dare I say, longer than you've been around.
I knew it. And walking over to them, grabs their hand and vigorously just shakes their hand. I can't believe, of all people, it would be you that I would be following through on this caravan. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I knew you would be here.
Nora's like, excuse me, do you know them? Is this Fred? I need to punch them in the face. They just do you want me to hit him?
Just uncock your fist.
Corbin, my social skills are somewhat outdated. Is this normal?
You can't ask me if no, it's not. And they start wiggling themselves, specifically getting you away from them. Hi, hey, how you doing, friend? Who are you?
I'm so sorry. My name is Kalo Falu, and your friend here, they saved me 20 years ago in the Underdark. I think your name started with a Z, if I recall correctly.
Zakan.
Zakan, that's what it was.
Although some refer to me
All the
as
facts
the Lightbringer.
are pointing to this being true so far. Am I still good?
No, I believe I believe they mean us no harm, and I'm glad to hear that I seem to have done well for you. Does Zakan recognize them?
You do not. And as you're looking quizzically at them, you hear the creak off in the shadows of the corner of the room of a elven bowstring drawn back to a pointed ear tip. Relax. And Elora does not shoot him either.
Just saying. This is. Oh, okay. So, nice to meet you. Hi. This. They finally like get from in between them, I guess.
I imagine you're
you're
Zakon's
going-
friend. I'm terribly sorry. And looks over at Corbin, just shakes their hand just as vigorously. Your friend has been such an inspiration, and I can only imagine you've done such great work with them over the years. It is
It's
such
so
a
bad.
pleasure.
It's like it's like a two-handed saw. Like it's just going back and forth. They're like, well, actually, like keeping up with like your pace of talking. But actually, I just met him, and really, we haven't been going together. That's all. But because I met them, I've gotten that guy and this guy. Do you know? Have they already gotten away? Like, is actually a conversation happening between the two of you?
Okay,
It's
no.
a con.
I feel like it goes on for like a silent, like, a solid 50
a good
minutes.
5
or so.
minutes.
And, like Corbin's just recounting like our entire thing up to this point.
And
Just
Well, it hasn't been
meanwhile,
that long,
Kayla's
but
like
in the
taking
last,
notes
like, month-
vigorously, just like, this is fascinating. Go on.
And as Corbin points, Kalo, you do see a giant spider, revered by certain other full-blooded drow, and certain priestesses that you're not too fond of, but it does slowly descend from the ceiling, and there is a small whoosh of orange illumination as a little burst of flame lightly toasts your shins as a writhing, red-scaled, wormling dragon coils around your leg and up onto the table in front of you, its dull, glowing eyes locked on yours.
Charcuterie, no.
Omae no type
okay. It's okay.
Kyotsukeru.
Yes,
Miteru.
we're fine.
Omae
Friend.
o miteru yo.
Friend.
Ah, iyo, iyo, iyo. Hai.
Oh my. And Kayla just kind of bends down. You speak Draconic, friend. I knew someone who spoke Draconic. Maybe I can retort with what I know. Boku no chinchin chisai desu.
There's just a guff of smoke and flame as they kind of laugh at.
I suppose that was a wonderful greeting. That's what I was told at the. Oh, you are so
Say it,
adorable.
say it again. Like, oh no, Corbin's gonna try to learn it. They're like, this is.
Please don't.
I know.
What was that word?
It's a wonderful greeting. I've heard it. It's apparently old Draconic. It's a very warm greeting. It seems your friend has taken a liking to.
I mean, it is a wormling. That is the age range of that kind of humor, yes.
All the times I got asked about that from kids.
Yes,
But after the
Mike
Corbin
was here in
and-
Japan too. For a spell. just
after
the
the
basics before
Corbin
we go on.
and Kato sort of excited chatter dies down, and there's a moment Zakon says, well, Kato, it sounds like you'll make for wonderful company on the caravan. Are you also headed towards the surface then?
It was not my initial intention in the beginning. However, some of our connections seems to have put us in the right direction. No, actually, I'm from Manthal Dareth. You led me there several years ago. I would like to take a pit stop there first, if possible. There are some friends of mine that I'd like to see. But yes, for the time being, it sounds like our paths are crossing to the surface.
Well, Dareth, yes. That would have been about 20 years ago, one of the last places that I went before. Well, that's a bit of a long story, but one of the last times that I was
teenager.
publicly known.
There's two of them now. Zakan, you would also know that Mantle Dareth is in the completely opposite direction to the way you're going.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the caravan that Quartermaster Zenny, the leader of this place, has arranged for us is not headed in the direction of Mantle Dareth, although I myself would like to visit there once we have been to the surface, if it is not urgent.
Corbin remembers
Not
that
at
name
all.
too.
Corbin does.
Not at all, not at all. That would actually perhaps benefit both our interests. My friends do intend to visit the surface. However, for the time being, I fear that exiting the Underdark may lead to some harsh consequences for them. I would like to ensure that the path is safe. In this case, for you and Corbin.
Well, then you are welcome.
Corbin, the Mantled Earth is the multi-race trading post that your family is very interested in.
Yeah. As I've been sitting here like slowly, it's like a kitchen timer. Like it's getting there. The egg timer, like it's getting there, and like halfway through their conversation, the ding goes off, and they're like, "Oh wait."
And I believe what Zakan knows of it is that it's basically one of the only ways that non-drow can reliably interact with the drow, like in a sort of trade sense. Like people do not go to what do you call it? The drow capital. Yeah.
Hey, North Shore DM, thank you so much. Yeah, exactly. Hey, everyone, the wonderful, beautiful North Shore DM there giving us a subscription. 14 months. Thank you so much, my friend. Do join us starting this Friday as we embark on a 10-day journey doing some good deeds, as we are going to be doing the No Kid Hungry charity stream together with our good friends who have just raided us from Guild Superior. Thank you for the subscription as well, my friends. Thank you, everybody. Hey, Minnesota Muse, how you doing? Good to see you again. I hope everyone had a fantastic session. I hope it was great stuff. Hey, thank you, Bleak Season, for the follow. Do check out the followers Discord. I do love how our emotes work so well together, because they were designed by the same person. But yes, everyone, please head on over to Guild Superior and give them a follow. Wonderful people doing wonderful stuff in the very near future, raising money for No Kid Hungry with us. So do join all of the streams along with the wonderful people at Fried Dice Paradise, and of course our leaders over at the Games Tavern who are organizing all of this for us. Fantastic donation incentives, amazing chances to win all kinds of things, just some straight up prizes that you can just get by donating. Amazing things from Shard Tabletop, Cobalt Press, D&D Beyond, and the chance to enjoy lots of wonderful games. More information about that coming up at the end of the session from our side of things. But yeah, Guild Superior, Dave, everyone, if you want to shout out what you're doing in chat there, please let everyone know where they can find out what's going on. Or folks, if you head over to their channel there and check out their schedule, I'm sure that has all the information of the upcoming sessions. And if you are able, of course, please do consider giving generously and helping out with this fantastic charity drive that we've got going on. I know there's lots of things happening at the moment, you're in the middle of Jasper's Game Week here with all kinds of things happening, but if you're able, please, it is, as Guild Superior says so accurately there, going to be so much fun, and all for such a good cause. This is where our journey started, where we met Guild Superior first and foremost, was with this charity stream last year. So I'm very much looking forward to doing that again. And that was also where we met CZRPG for the first time as well, who's also sponsoring the stuff going on there. Everyone, we do have our giveaway going. Jump in the giveaway, ! Enter, for your chance to win CZRPG's recent release, Encounters in the Underdark. Please jump on that. Okay, sorry folks to interrupt there. So,
brief commercial break.
Yes, you've timed it well, Raiders. We have a brand new player joining us today. This is Mike, everybody, who is playing Kalo, a half-drow that is joining the party on this section of their journey. They are in a tavern, hence the slightly jolly music for the Underdark, but there it is.
Oh, weird, I'm not getting the music. Maybe I'll restart Sirenscape.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I've just now realized.
It's good to see you. So in the moment, thank you for your focus and your commitments to the character.
Yeah, I was hearing it in my head. I was there.
Theater of the mind and all that.
Indeed. Orchestra of the mind.
Yeah.
Right. So please, sorry, continue.
Yeah. So again to Kato. If you have no other plans, please feel free to join us. I do apologize that I have not immediately recognized or remembered you. The past 20 years have been long, and I am growing older by the day.
You certainly don't feel like you've aged. And the last time you met me, I was a boy. I wasn't even a Sniffneblin high, so I figured you wouldn't recognize me anyways, but I certainly recognized you from that mask. I knew it had to be you.
I am glad that
The
you're
irony.
safe and sound. It feels nice to see someone again after all of that. Usually, after guiding them to the surface, I part ways and continue my work. And while I'm not saying that the current group has been at all ungrateful, it does feel good to be recognized again as the Lightbringer.
I'm surprised. I would presume your reputation precedes you.
I was out of the public eye for a long time. 20 years, as it were.
That does coincide with the timeline. Hopefully I was not the one to give you that bad luck.
I doubt it. And this new group looking
Slowly
to...
draws the blade. It was all your fault.
Surprise!
looking to Corbin, this new group has reinvigorated me, shall we say. And I feel myself returning to something of my old self after a long time alone.
Well, are you sure that you can handle being reinvigorated? We don't want you to.
Oh, I am
Overdo it.
barely keeping up. I am very much barely keeping up.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we could find one of those reverse spells, and then it'll de-age you 20 years, so that way you're not sitting next to Grandma over there. And Corbin's pointing to Laura.
Not even here to defend herself.
I know.
Oh, yeah, so Laura and her esteemed 40 years of age.
You're esteemed.
Yes. And everyone, can we just in our break over the previous 2 weeks, I did pass another birthday, so ease off.
The ancient,
Mine's just
withering
coming up.
age of
I
40.
did-
44 now, right?
I'm on my way. My birthday's coming up. I get to make fun of all of you guys until my birthday.
No.
Oh, sneak
I
peeks.
get to do in this campaign what I've been doing since I was in middle school, which is cosplaying an old person, so...
Sneak peeks, actually. Speaking of events and things coming up, June 10th. Keep your eyes open. We will have our regular Witchlight session, but we will also have some other shenanigans going on, because that marks not only our 2-year anniversary on streaming here on Twitch, but also it is the day, and I do not know what time of the day I was born, so I'm going to just call it midday. It is the day that I crossed the line, and I've been in Japan longer than I was ever in England.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
interesting.
big one.
It is a big one. I'm going to do some appropriate things. I cannot wait. So everyone, join us for that.
John, not to get off topic, but when's your Yakudoshi? No, that's... Have you already
Yeah,
passed that?
I need to check those out. I don't know.
It's 40-something, right?
Yeah, I teach at a shrine, so I'm just kind of like passively getting all the good luck from the shrine all the time.
Yeah. For those who don't know, in Japan, you have like unlucky years where you have to go to a shrine to like get that year's like
Purified.
curse removed,
Yes.
and
Yes.
there's one big one in your life, and
Yep.
for ladies it's 33 or something. I mean, then for men it's older.
I forget which one it is. Yeah, and then you've got the 2 years before and the 2 years after a bit. dodgy.
Yeah, because my partner did it a couple years ago.
Oh,
It was absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, I love it.
Japan's
All
wonderful
the
mix
different-
of bureaucracy and like spirituality.
Yes. I love all the things. Like the first ever winter holiday I had here, so just a few months after I'd arrived for the first time, spoke not a word of Japanese, just wandering around. I went down to Hiroshima and I was at the castle it was in Osaka. I was looking at the castle in Osaka there in the grounds. It was New Year, so all those kinds of things going on. People are walking around in kimono and beautiful things going on. And there were priests at the shrine there blessing cars for the year ahead. So they were like parked up with a ring of salt around them and the bonnets popped open. And they were doing these Shinto shrines to bless the cars for the year. It was amazing. Anyway, yes.
What I
this is-
understand, it's only for like new cars as well, right? Because I meant to do it for a used car that I bought, but the dealer said you don't have to do it for used cars.
the guy I bought my first ever car from, that was a used car, and he did it for me. So
Interesting.
it's
Maybe just in case.
Yeah,
And it's fun as well.
right. But you know, he's in touch with like foreigners wanting to enjoy Japanese culture. He's the guy that I don't know if you remember it, Mike and Stephen, the Mini Cooper dealership in Tyra, with all the Union Jacks out front. Yes, sorry, Buns. We've not only have we all been in Japan, we have all been in the same city as well. So it's
No, it's fine. Everybody's not
very
drunk.
niche here.
That just means that we
What
have to
I'm
get
hearing
Buns
is
to Iwaki for
everybody
like a
puts
big.
yeah. It's like what I'm hearing is all of you owe me a trip up there.
Yeah,
Iwaki's a
of course.
fun place to visit. Like if you're gonna see like quote unquote normal Japan, Iwaki's a great place for that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so
Do you join us in our breakfast, or do we just go straight to the caravan to meet?
yes, Kate. Well, this is actually still the evening before. This is when you're having your dinner here,
Oh, this
and
is still the-
yeah, because Kaylo,
Okay.
you were sent in this direction, having arrived for coming in on one caravan, heading out on another. If you've done so many times before.
And remind me, did you say his armor was that of a barrelwood?
No, he has a kind of it's kind of smoky black, right, Kaylo? But there is a metal sheen to it.
Yes, so it's kind of sort of like obsidian colored, a little bit of that smoky mattness to it, but it's very thin, it's very flexible, and it comes in multiple parts. It feels almost like a carapace, as you would see on most drow, but it feels almost like surface designed, if that makes sense.
And Corbin, your appraising eye looks at it and thinks it's expensive as fuck.
Yeah, while we're sort of talking, can Zakan just be sort of like, and again, underneath the mask, so hard to tell where the eye contact is, looking Kalo up and down to try and gauge like where their armaments are from, how new or used they are, whether they're carrying hidden weapons that are not yet visible, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think your appraisal of the situation would tally with his story of mental dearth, because you can see drow sensibilities in the design, but then dwarven grackle stud kind of like your Duragar sensibilities in the smithing, and you're kind of trying to figure out what the other half might be. With the coloration thing is interesting, but you're not quite sure. But yeah, a half drow for sure. The hair, if nothing else, don't have the white hair.
Yeah, interesting, but not uncommon, right? For the Underdark.
Like, not uncommon for Zakan, and then not uncommon because anything that would be interacted with by Corbin would have been, I don't want to say unsavory, but they're like, don't stare. They've just been taught to not react to people's appearance because you never know what could set them off during an exchange.
Yes.
So they're like,
In contrast to that, all of Webster's multiple eyes are staring. The mandibles clicking together in the shadowy beams
like,
of
what
the
was
roof.
your response when it's like when Webster comes down and other than Jokusho, and I'm just like, no, stop, both of you. So these are mine. This is the youngest is a little fussy.
Spider. What is the spider's name?
Webster.
Webster. That's so foreign. It's so beautiful. May I pet Webster?
Are you okay with that? I mean, I'd be okay with that. If anything, it'd be entertaining to see you try.
Oh, I've grown up.
Whoever ever
with spiders
tries
all
to
my
pet
life.
him, this is so interesting. The Corbin never tries to pet. Webster's the opposite all the time. They're so happy for both
Webster
of
has
you.
a welcoming aura.
Nice. He just has
Just
a
looking
really
at Webster's
nice
nice
vibe.
beady wide eyes. You are absolutely the most adorable thing, and just kind of like very carefully stroking like the back of the head, the chin. You are just absolutely adorable. I've never seen a spider like you in my life. You are the
think I
best.
like
I
it.
love you.
Well, I was going to say that base level
Right,
drow
Corbin.
affinity for spiders, but yeah, there it is. Okay.
Sorry, I had a
Corbin's
pet
like,
spider when I
okay,
was a
we can
child.
keep this one. We can keep this one.
You can
It's
stay.
okay, Zakan, we can keep. He can stay.
They can stay. Excuse me. Actually, what are your pronouns? As Kayla? Kaylo?
Oh yeah, he, him.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh yes.
Excuse me. I need to check that.
Zakan
Okay.
is whatever. We did have the reveal that Zakan does appear to at least have been perhaps female assigned at birth. But
Some people don't know that.
Kayla wouldn't know.
Kayla wouldn't know.
True. You, Kalo, you were sent here as this is the place in town that is designed for outsiders and has decent height to the roof, the ceilings and the like. And you were recommended their hot springs that are in every room. Although one of the rooms is apparently a little charred.
See, what had happened was...
Pulls out the book again, just starting to take notes.
Oh no. No, I think I will keep Corbin's personal feelings about what's happening with Shokishio and what could have been happening to themselves as of right now. But they do invite you to and the other one, didn't you come in with somebody else? It wasn't just you.
He was escorted by borough guard, but the borough wardens.
Oh, okay, by the borough
left
guard.
him.
All right.
Yeah.
I would at least invite you in to join us for dinner and our group to kind of like hear the rest of our tales. Because we're all going to be on the same caravan, kind of get to know you more, ask you what you've been doing for the past 20 years.
Would be lovely, actually. Just kind of awkwardly looking around for an empty seat, and just the first few tables that are out in front, just very politely trying to ask for a seat, but getting like scoffed by Duragar and other Snufneblins. So ultimately, maybe a few minutes later, pulls a chair and just very casually just places it right between the bench, just sits there. Mushrooms. All right. What kind of ale are they serving?
Flat. And they just like slide you under the
Dark Lake
tankers
Stout, of
on
course.
the table.
Oh,
If you prefer something
joy.
hotter, they do have options.
Kind of just looking for the first bar wench. Excuse me, and overtaken by everything else. Clearly, his request is a very sheepish request for a drink. Takes him a few minutes. I would assume, John.
Yep.
What would be on tap here besides the flat ale?
They've got both kinds. They've got mushroom stout and dark lake stout.
And then I assume some
both?
type of like fire water, like just generic white liqueur.
There are no drow spirits here.
There are no spirits.
I will take anything that is not a drow spirit, and I will take it right now. Can I get two, the dark lake and the mushroom? The mushrooms to wash it down.
Wait, does that help?
No, I just hate the flat one. But it helps clear the throat afterwards. The dark lake
kind of
ale
thing
is
where the-
very rich. So.
They slide Corbin's like sort of away from them. They've been like, I believe 1.5 is plenty.
Is
the
enough
evening.
for me? Is this
We
maybe
have an
for...
early start in the morning.
Oh, you get so drunk one time that you technically take out half of the building with acid, and suddenly you can't have any fun. Like they're just joking around with Zakan, but they're just it's very much so like something that would just be said to like kind of make them chuckle, which I think would be very different from the person that escorted you to your home all those years ago. They probably were very, very stoic, and now I'm sitting here like
Yeah, I think
poking them
Zakan
and
does
making
seem a
them
bit
chuckle.
Lisa.
Like,
Like I think 20 years ago they were even more like standoffish and like ethereal. But
at this
yeah, they
point,
seem
you're
a bit
Betty
more
White compared to how you were before.
They've been dealing with this
Just
for like
lovely.
a month. They've been surrounded by babies.
Goes from like a drama to Golden Girls in a hot minute.
We'll serenade Zakan. Thank you for being a friend. Will do. As we- But since
I'm
there will
so
be a
fascinated.
lot of
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say they weren't gonna drink anymore. They weren't gonna try to sneak anything. They were just gonna finish their their 1.5 drink. Okay, they were gonna make it 2 full ones, but it wasn't gonna be anything more than just that. What were you gonna say?
I'm so curious, and just taking a big swig of the dark lake, and you can see kind of the froth around where the scar is and like the top lip. It almost looks like a milk mustache, but it's just general like foam. It almost looks like a dwarven beer foam. This is so fascinating. I've never seen so many of your, and kind of just looks around at the rest of your party, companions wanting to leave the Underdark. What brings you out this far? You don't look like normal traveling folk.
A lot of things brought us out this far.
The majority of us were captured by drow raiding parties, and they were brought to the prison where I was already sojourning, such as it were. We were able to arrange our way out and slowly but surely get people to various places in the Underdark, and all that remains of our group now are those who need to go to the surface. Indeed, as you say, the majority of our group went to various places in the Underdark.
It's fascinating, and I wonder if it has... Are you leaving of your own volition, or are you terrified of recent events?
What do you mean by
Yes.
recent events?
I can't speak much for here in Blendingstone. I only arrived.
That was so
I forgot.
encouraging for both of you. Zakan's cautious. What do you mean by recent events? And Corbin's like,
Yes.
yes.
It's like, go on.
It's great. It's great.
It's so
Yeah,
good
I've
that
only
their facial
arrived-
expression is just constantly obscured. I think Corbin wouldn't think they're as friendly as they were if they could always see their facial expression.
Do you ever like absent-mindedly, forgetfully kind of pinch the nose of your mask? You're like, oh.
Yeah, I think they will. Yeah, they'll do this sort of thing every once in a while, or like rub their temples.
It's interesting. I've only been in Blendingstone for a few hours, but well, in Mental Dareth, you don't see much activity within the walls of the city, but outside, as I usually tend on my scouting adventures, I've noticed some unusual creatures. I can't put a name to them. They appear fiendish in nature. I've never encountered anything like that before, but they have halted a lot of my scouting efforts recently, and I was unaware if anyone else had encountered perhaps a giant bug or a bat that had fur. They were massive creatures. You couldn't miss them, but I wasn't aware if you had encountered anything like that in your travels.
I feel like I'd have one if we had. I'm just being honest.
just two menagerie. Nope.
Just no. It's kind of though. They're like, no, we haven't.
Point to Webster, giant bug.
Big fat giant bug.
Oh
need
no,
to know,
that thing
is
is far
Webster,
too
like-
adorable.
Normal size for a giant spider, or
Yeah.
like is he kind of like runtish? Because in my mind, he's like almost a little smaller.
Is that because of that first ever picture we used with the little red ribbon on top?
Yeah, exactly.
That didn't help. Didn't help.
You just look like a bow. You were gifting them to me.
Hey, CD4, thank you so much. I think, Zakan and Corbin, probably both of you, it sounds like he's talking about Vrox and Kazmes.
The things we have run into.
Mm-hmm. The same things, Zakan, the same things that barreled into the cavern of the Drow camp as you left.
Oh, so that was before. It was before Corbin's time.
Yes, but they have become more common here in the Underdark. So I think Corbin might have seen. Have you ever seen any demons apart from what we've seen with the group?
Oh, like will Corbin have seen any?
Yeah, have you seen anything?
Right.
Would you have seen something before?
From where I would have come down into the Underdark originally, then yeah, I would have either come across them.
Yeah, I think because you came from the
like from a
surface down.
distance, but like, please know
From a
that's
healthy,
from a
respectful distance.
healthy, respectful distance.
Only because Quims wasn't here to cheer enough to get you to go closer.
Yeah, dude, like that's when you should worry. When Quims is in chat, that's when you should worry about Corbin doing real tough shit.
Well, you can worry next week as well when we have all the interesting donation incentives to inflict upon you.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be great.
All right. Thinking
Yes.
of you.
Kayla, what you are describing are exactly the type of thing that we're concerned with, and part of the reason why we are heading to the surface, aside from bringing Eldith and Darendel here to their homes.
Hopefully
We-
get some help.
Yes, are seeking help.
Yeah. As he mentions them, Kalo, there's a dwarf, kind of practically dressed, kind of like scouts type looking female dwarf who nods in a friendly way, and then there's a large quaggoth. These kind of furred, almost monstrous entities, often used by the drow as security and muscle, who just rises up as their stone bench screeches across the floor, and they do a deep, florid bow.
Kalo's both floored and curious, morbidly curious. Turning back to Corbin and Zakan. Are they with you?
I feel like Alora would like speak up from the corner and say something like, "Unfortunately, yes."
Unfortunately, yes. We have a group consensus on how Alora is.
Here, Mike is. Oh, no, I was going to say you're not in Roll20. Have you got the stream open?
Do you?
Yes. Okay. So here's Eldith. If that's worked. Has it worked? Click. I said click. Maybe not. Do I have to be on the same page as you?
I saw it
Stage
pop up.
fright.
Sorry, folks. Oh, there we go. Finally. Oof. God, that took ages. Why that took so long. Okay, so that's Eldith there. And then Prince Darendil, no less. He's much faster.
Yeah, and I think Zakan says something to that effect, like, Prince Darendil here is high elf nobility who was transformed into the state you see him in.
Whilst it
And just very hurriedly-
has its benefits, and he just like brings out these massive, lethal-looking claws, and the muscles just ripple under the furred skin. It is going to be an interesting reunion when I'm returned to Zumana.
I would certainly say so, my lord. And just very awkwardly and quickly bows to Darendel just to keep up appearances. I apologize. I did not greet you beforehand. Zakan is my rescuer from years ago, so I was distracted. Can I ask, is it a sensitive subject and kind of just eyes Darendel? Are you hurt? Are you okay?
What do you mean?
Forgive my ignorance. I'm not familiar with fairy elves. It's such a fascinating thing. I've never seen one of you before. Are you?
You know what Quaggoths are? They're all over the Underdark.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Drow use them all the time and stuff. So there would have been a bunch in Mantle Earth as well, being used as like hauling around boxes and
And
things.
by all appearances, he just looks like a normal Quaggoth, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Just a very well-spoken one.
yes.
Well, it's a pleasure, and I hope I can help you on your quest to exit the Underdark.
I thank you.
Just
And,
kinda-
I hope that we are successful and that success visits you as well in your endeavors.
Kind of creeped out because he's never heard a Quaggoth talk like that before, but just very gingerly smiles, returns to the table, acknowledges Eldith, and just kind of looks at the group. You are adventurers, right? You're not a traveling circus.
Do you think we'd make more money as a traveling circus?
I'm not familiar with the surface, but if you do intend to return there, that would certainly be a worthwhile venture.
You should have seen our initial group. Whereas typically, one of those that I guided were homogenous. We started our journey with a young Myconid, a drow such as yourself, a Duergar, a couple of Svirfneblin, even a Kuatoa holy man.
Right.
We had a cat for a while.
Just taking out a notebook again. Right. Help.
Oh, and how could I forget our Minotaur friend from the Feywilds?
Our
The Feywilds. I've
This
heard of
gets
them in
weirder
my
and weirder.
child.
take over.
I've heard of them in my stories as a child, but the Feywild, I assumed that was a bad place where children would go to get punished. You say there's a Minotaur that comes from there.
At least one that we know of.
Corbin, you were saying?
And
Well-
Corbin here, of course, I believe is human. Somewhat rare in these parts as well.
Yes, no, that is very true. In my travels, I have encountered some humans, including my father. But for your sake, hopefully, you will not have to feel so blinded down here in the next few days. Though I worry going up there, exiting. Do you have a plan if the surface level denizens attack you? Have you considered if they're hostile or not to our presence?
I have thought about it, yes. And in point of fact, I myself typically don't venture too far to the surface if I leave the Underdark at all. So I am trusting Corbin and Eldith here, who have more knowledge than me.
Oh, don't worry. It'll be fine if we can get back up. If we can get to the top of the surface and yeah, all of the all of the habitations up there are a good deal more cosmopolitan than you would imagine.
And this forest that we're emerging into, do you know of any hostile parties that we may encounter there, Eldith?
In the Lookwood?
Indeed.
Oh, only as such as any forested area is dangerous. There's wild creatures, all sorts of beasts around the place, and bandits. Esmeralda. Esmeralda's like twirling a dagger on the table. She's like, "Hey, maybe there'll be good ones like us, right, Elora? Elora?" Thank you, Akis.
For your part, Kalo, just so we can know should we encounter any dangerous situation, are you capable in combat?
Yes. Let me be the bulwark for you.
And we will rely on your skills as well as yours. genial company.
And
I
Darren goes
prefer the
like,
company first and combat later, but yes, I am looking forward to it. And washes down the rest of the Dark Lake. Now I have to deal with this. And just very gingerly washes down the flat ale.
and Darren does like, oh, thank goodness, because Elora chased off the last valiant warriors that came to our side.
This Elora fellow, are they a friend of yours as well? They seem separated from you. I
You know,
just wanted to make sure.
you know when the hobbits first meet Aragorn in the Prancing Pony, and he's like that when he's like in the corner, just completely in shadow, it's just,
Arms crossed.
there is a female elf doing that over in the corner. Eyes just gleaming in the dark.
She is your friend, right? I'm to assume that they're not going to. They're okay, right?
I mean, I can't speak for them personally, but most of the time they seem to be holding their wits about them.
She just asked for some time to relax before we set back out.
And Esmeralda, the one who's supposedly linked to this other character, this elf character, is like, oh, her? Yeah, she's fine. And she just picks up that dagger that she was playing with on the table and just hurls it into the shadows in that direction. And gets a 3 against Elora's natural 20.
It's just like between the fingers kind of thing.
Yeah. You just see a slight glint of a smile from the elf in the shadows. And Esmeralda's like, see? Perfectly able to look after herself. Doesn't need a hoity-toity knight sanctimonious warriors like you.
I usually tend not to question the skills of those who hunker themselves in dreaded corners of a tavern. They are far more dangerous than myself, and kind of gleams at the armor.
Tuppy comes out with another tray of drinks. Tuppy comes out with another tray of drinks. She's like, oh, Elora's using the dreaded corner. Oh, thanks, Elora. Nobody sits there.
No one sits in the dreaded corner.
I think Laura also said something about wanting to gamble. Said that she was missing someone and felt like betting.
You just hear distant footsteps getting closer and closer, and the door slams open, and Jim Jar's like, what?
And there they are now.
Someone said the magic world. Yeah, somebody said
Jim Jar and Alara just spend the rest of the night in the corner playing poker or whatever. Underdark poker.
Yeah. Bling Stone Bluff.
Hey, nice.
Yes.
I was trying to think of some kind of like Hold'em pun.
Yeah.
Blingden Stone Bluff, that's good.
Okay. And yeah, the rest of the evening is spent catching each other on stories of your past that you care to share. And then a couple more mushroom flavored drinks. And then you take your leave and rest for the evening. And I don't think anyone needs it, but you can get a long rest.
Yeah, I think.
Wasn't a particularly dangerous shopping trip.
Caleb been burning spells this whole time.
Actually, Caleb, the caravan that you came in on was attacked like the whole way. You're on 1 HP. He was like,
thank goodness. I've been looking for 8 hours.
Yeah, he was like being so pleasant and friendly.
Nobody
just, like,
noticed.
dying on the inside.
Just like bleeding out the side on like the side of the cloak you can't see.
No.
It's got that draconic Gamanzioi thing going on. Okay, so
Sakon, I think, does their ritual that they've been doing every night they've been staying here, which is refreshing the bandages and taking a bath, because it does soothe their injuries, their old bones and divine scarred flesh.
Wow. Okay, and yes, after a nice soak and with full stomachs and soft bed coverings, if more slightly stony underneath, you do rest and are able to have that long rest. And as you are drowsing here, Caleb.
Yes.
The dream begins as it has countless times before. The surface. The black mantle of night across the sky with the pinpricks of distant portals to the elemental plane of fire on the interior of a crystal sphere, or stars as everyone else calls them. And long grass brushing past your legs and the fingertips of your outspread hands as you walk down the hillside towards the grove of trees. The grove of trees with what you know will have the central clearing with the pool of dark, gleaming water. As always, this night, in this dream, in this space, is a full moon. And the moon hangs heavy, ponderously in the sky above the open clearing, ringed by the dark trees. And as you make your way through those columns of trunks, on the soft moss unseen beneath your feet, the glow of the clearing starts to peek through the trees ahead. But you've seen it before, you know what awaits you. And as you grow closer, you start to hear the music. And as you part from the trees, you can see, as always, wreathed in spider silk gossamer garments and dark tunics beneath, their silvery hair twirling and splayed out behind them as they whirl and dance and skip and leap around the sacred grove. You see the avatars of Illustrai reveling in the moonlight, reveling in the surface, celebrating all that is free. The music crescendos, and the dance grows even more frenzied, twirling this way and that, round and round the pool, until, as the music reaches its uppermost point, 3 of the 4 avatars leap with one giant, large, arcing flight through the grove's cool night air, and plunge with barely a splash into the mirrored surface of the pool, causing concentric ripples to emanate out from the 3 spots and overlap against each other, making the center of the pool itself dance as if the music continues through the water and the departing spirits. The 4th turns, breathing heavily, enjoying the exhaustion of abandonment and dance. Their eyes, 2 silvery pools themselves, regard you, and a smile spreads across the avatar's face, and she steps across and says, "Come to the surface." And the scene fades.
Kind of just wakes up in a cold sweat before passing out again.
To come. You find yourself walking, also through trees, But these are tall, dark, jagged pine trees. And deciduous trees also clawing their way out from beneath the ever-laden needles of their cousins. Branches bare, reaching towards the path and the sky, but you cannot see the sky as the whole scene is wreathed in mist. Far away, you hear sounds in the trees. Natural things. Creatures you've heard of that live in these places. Wolves, I think they're called. But they do not come near the road. They do not fuss with this traveler. And as you step along the cold, damp road, it opens up into an area of tree stumps. All of the trees felled. And you could see through the mists ahead of you tall walls. And behind the walls, huddled for protection, rooftops, wisps of smoke rising up from chimneys, the glow of lights still illuminating some of the houses. Behind this cluster of buildings, a hillside, a path zigzagging up to an abbey, a walled enclave atop a cliff, peering down over the village below. Your vision shifts, and you find yourself walking up that zigzagging path. The village, Kresk, is a name on the edge of your hearing. Receding beneath you as you climb up the damp hillside. The mist skulking around the edges of the walled abbey above. As you approach, the large doors open before you. You enter a graveyard off to the right. One of the graves fresh. Its headstone recently cut. The main building of the abbey itself stands before you. A single hall giving off firelight, flickering pitifully against the darkness that oppressively leans in from Barovia around you. You walk forwards towards the light and step into the cavernous main hall of the abbey. A long dining table, chairs arrayed along it, silverware glinting in the dancing flames, and a tall figure in an abbot's vestments, standing at the back of one of the chairs. A figure seated before them, out of sight just except for the curve of a cheek from the side of this figure who stands between you. And the standing figure is brushing their hair slowly, deliberately. I trust you're well, my Zakan.
I think Zakan is just going to keep approaching them, and as they do, like almost absent-mindedly, they touch to see if their mask is there. And I think, as usual in dreams, the mask isn't there.
Nice.
And they just walk towards this figure to see if they can see them more clearly.
As you walk at a slight tangent to them, their face does become visible. But you don't recognize it. It looks like 1,000 other priests and abbots across the Forgotten Realms. But then a glow, a pitiful echo of what it was before when you first met Tidra. As her wings, ethereal almost, attempting to be there, attempting to be what they once were, appear from between her shoulder blades. And she tilts her head towards you, but not looking at you directly. You shouldn't be here. You are too good for this place.
Tidra. Are you all right?
Yes.
And they reach out to try and touch her face, just to feel if they're there.
As you do, she turns away, and her hair falls from behind her ear, and almost like a curtain drawing just falls across and covers her face on that side. I am to perform a penance. I failed. And in doing so, failed you, Sakan. I left you at such a difficult time. I'm sorry, but not my choice.
No, I am sorry. You trusted me. You gave me your strength, and I couldn't help you. And I can't stop what's happening.
Here? No. But this is my penance, my idea. And she starts brushing the hair of the figure in front of her again. And as you continuing to move to the side of her there, you get a better view. There is a very thin, very pale-skinned woman sat in the chair in front of Tidra. And as you come into view, you can just see very fine stitches, very neatly done. But this is clearly a flesh golem. And the various parts were not originally of the same person. And she's just obsessively over and over again brushing the perfectly straight hair. It is mine project. I can fix this. I can re-sanctify this place. In the name of the Morning Lord. And perhaps this valley can return to its original location. Perhaps nothing's impossible. Now,
just tell me what to do where you are. If we reconnect, maybe we can figure it out. We can reestablish.
Dear Sakan, you can't be here. You can't come here. You mustn't. For those that come can never leave. place. It is my fault. I was sent here because I was not able to teach forgiveness. Please, do not think badly of my boys. Lincoln, Tyrannax, they were consumed by anger. Could not see their father for what he had once been. Their father, Oxrion, was one of the host as well, don't you know? One of Celestia's finest. Until the king of that blighted throne and their ninth layer whispered falsehoods and empty promises. No matter. I should have convinced Lincoln and Tyrannax. I should have told them. I should have been able to have them forgive him and return him to what he was, what he should have been. But they're gone. I do not know what became of them. I am not to know what became of them until I am done here. But I can sense you are also about something great. Fated one indeed. Right place at the right time. The only thing left is to make the right decision. And I know you will, Zakan.
With everything you taught me, by your guidance.
Just remember, it is your decision to make. You are free. A fated one, but that fate is yours to choose. Please, return. Do not remind me of other places. I have work to do. I have work to do. You are so beautiful. The Count is going to fall in love, and he will find the goodness in his heart. Barovia will forgive him, like Lincoln and Tyrannax didn't forgive their father. And all shall be well. All shall be well.
And I think as she turns away from Zakan and returns to this like sort of obsessive task, there's just tears running down their face in that way, like when someone you love more than anything else is hurting, and they just say, when I'm finished here, I will find you. As my last debt of gratitude, I will find you. Even if that's the end of me.
As the scene fades, the mists roiling thicker and cascading through the open doors of the hall. You do not know if she heard you.
And they wake up, take their mask off, rub their face. And I think, depending on what time it is, they'll go down to the bottom floor, find a quiet spot, and they're just going to absentmindedly play at their lyre, because it's a way to feel connected.
Okay. Corbin.
Thought you were safe.
Like, I'll be fine. I said.
You stumble, intoxicated, through the streets. Lanterns bobbing and dancing overhead, other equally intoxicated members of the population of mental death stumbling towards you, raising their glasses from whichever tavern it was that they gained them. Durgar, Drow. Myconids? Can Myconids get drunk? Everyone's stumbling around and raising their glasses. I know what they're all talking about. There's nothing to worry about. Abyssal incursion, my ass. And someone like sloppily campies you, and the drink like flops over. And you carry on your way, knowing this isn't right. These people shouldn't be happy, carefree. The dangers you've seen, the danger you know is approaching. It's not right. And you go through the streets looking for that one warehouse. That one warehouse that you were told has ties to your family. As people jostle this way and that. Hey, my God, you're right, hey. Happy. Too happy. And as you make your way through the crowds of revelers in the streets here, music spilling out of every doorway and window, all of the different races, friendly, yes, on good business terms, yes, but not reveling together like this. Drow and human with their arms thrown around each other, stumbling along the street. Any relationships here were guarded, nervous at best. And what do you do?
To be quite honest, no, none of this is normal, and maybe everybody is just a little bit too happy, but also, is it a bad thing that everyone's getting along? I'm gonna go to the warehouse, like sneaky, like.
Okay. So you can make your way over to the side of the street.
And sneaky, like.
Step over a few people that have kind of like collapsed against the wall.
Right, it's like they start trying to climb up to like where the nearest window is. They can try to see if there's anybody in there.
Mm-hmm. I think that's when you come over and it's like, yes, climb up away from these fools, these euphoric fools, and you clamber carefully.
Yeah, I need to get away from them for a second.
And hand up onto the mantle of the window, step up onto the sill, up to the second floor shutter which is swinging open. Hoist yourself up onto the sloped slates of the roof and roll over the edge onto the slates and collapse with your back against the cool stone and look up at the cavern above. Look up at a cavern ceiling festooned with hanging fungus, bioluminescent patches in sickly green and grey, reds, crimson blood red fungus dully glowing throughout the cavern's roof, choking the stalactites, hanging between them like some sick festival decorations, and a huge shape looming. A shape that only Zakarn has seen until this point, as Zugtamoy, the demon queen of fungus, towers above this whole scene. Yes. revel. Be joyous and happy, for my wedding is nigh, and all shall be consumed. And she spreads her arms through the cavern space, and spores fall like rain, some sickly snow delicately drifting down and intoxicating the people of mental dearth below. And you slump back against the cool slates and feel your own spores reaching out, like the Myconids taught you, the rapport, the shared consciousness. If only you could contact her, join your spores with that cloud.
It's like this bitch. She's like, oh no, you don't. No. How to get a hat? Like there goes. How do I make this a hat? These are my spores.
Zuktamoy seems to notice you.
Audible. Fuck. And the thing tries to get down.
Yes. Yes, I see you have embraced the fungal way.
It's a medical condition. I've made my choices. I don't know what you're talking about.
Go forth. Spread our presence to the surface itself.
Oh no. What do you mean our? My face, Corbin's face finally like comes back to the window. Oh, our?
It shall all be ours. Yes. All ours.
I've somehow already been included in this, and I don't know how. All ours. Hail Queen.
And the scene darkens. And
Oh, Corbin. Corbin is just gonna wake up like, now.
And Corbin, you wake up. But is it one of those times where it's one of those fake wake ups? You woken back up in the dream as you smell the undeniable must of mushrooms and spores wafting throughout the building. It looks like the foaming mug, but that fungal, decaying odor spreads through the rooms, up the stairs, as you hear Tappy's voice. Breakfast time!
Ha!
And you all awaken
Our
to the
breakfast!
smell of another mushroom-full course on the go. And we shall join you again next week as you make your way out into the tunnels of the Underdark with this caravan escorting them towards the surface with your new companion, Kalo, and Elora Illustrious return to us as well. A massive thank you to everyone who's joined us. Lots of people coming through. Thank you as always. It's an absolute pleasure to have you all along for our adventures. And thank you to my adventurers.
Thank you.
It was fun. I do love riffing those dream sequences. It's so much fun. Okay, so as dawn breaks through Blingdenstone and the lanterns and torches are lit, we shall return to the Underdark next week as part of our No Kid Hungry charity week with Games Tavern, Guild Superior, Fried Dice Paradise, and so many more wonderful adventures for a wonderful cause. Do join us. If you are able, please do donate to the wonderful charity that will be linked to and everything in those sessions. All of our sessions next week, starting with Candle Keep on Saturday and going through all the way to Wild Beyond the Witchlight on Thursday or Friday, depending where you are in the world, will be in the name of this charity event. And we have, bookending that, 2 extra sessions, Friday night, Saturday morning, on either end of the week. We have 2 one-shot roulette games. Let me pull up that graphic for you and show you all of the wonderful people that will be joining us. Just a moment here. Where did I put it? Come here. Sorry, folks, it's going to be absolutely gigantic for a second. Oh, no, it's not. It's tiny. Okay, never mind. Wrong way around. And fit. Boom. Okay, there it is, folks. The fantastic lineup that we have coming to join us for No Kid Hungry. We will be joined this weekend by James Hake, the lead games designer at Ghostfire Gaming and the project lead of the recent Critical Role book Call of the Netherdeep. We will be joined by Kelsey Dion, the creative lead and owner of the Arcane Library, one of our favourite publishers here at Phoenix Iwaki, and our very own Marin and Michael will also be joining us for our first one-shot roulette. Everything is random. The characters were randomly generated. The location and plots will be randomly determined at the start of the session, and we'll jump in there. Your donations will influence play as well as give you the chance to win fantastic prizes or just automatically qualify you for amazing prizes from our incredible sponsors, D&D Beyond, Cobalt Press, CZRPG, all sorts of fantastic things for you to get your hands on throughout all of the streams of the event. And of course, donations will be triggering wild magic surges, giving health potions, boons, and banes throughout the sessions. We're going to come up with a couple of roulette wheels to join and spin with your donations if you'd like to randomize it, or you can specifically donate the amount for a particular thing that you would like to happen. So do join us for all the fun of the fair as we will be jumping into those sessions there. And we'll be finishing off the week with a second one-shot roulette game with the incredible Quincy from Quincy's Tavern, Dag, Dead Aussie Gamer, Michael from Dead Aussie Gamer, and from Perception Studio, 3 of their wonderful, wonderful crew, our felted friends, Brian and Cucumber, as well as their beleaguered DM, Ryan, who I don't think will show me any sympathy on the other end of things, as we play another one-shot roulette to finish it off. Join us if you can. Let us make a huge difference. Even just $1 can help to go towards as much as 10 meals for the all of the millions of children that do not get the proper food and balanced diet that they need throughout the US. And it is a fantastic charity doing wonderful work, and we really hope that you can join us. Thank you. Now, after that spiel is said and done, let us find out who, speaking of lucky winners, who is today's winner of our CGRPG product. Do head them and check them out, folks. They have fantastic Patreon giving you awesome stuff for your games, beautiful maps, some wonderful design. There's the Patreon there. And also remember, all of you, not just the winner of this, all of you can get that wonderful discount off those beautiful 3D printed Nathrak 3D minis. Phoenix Iwaki is the code over there. Head on over to their Etsy there and give them a look there. Proud to have them with us at the moment. Now, that said, let us see who is getting this CCRPG bundle here as we're closing up the entries. Boop. Good luck, everybody. Tonight's copy goes to New Plane. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy some Underdark adventures. Welcome in as always, and everyone do stick around as we, having been raided by all those wonderful people today, can continue on and do a raiding of our own as we continue off into Twitch somewhere. Who is on at the moment? Phone, don't die on me. Any of our wonderful crew on? Any of our stream team? Not at the moment, but the aforementioned Perception Studios are doing a session, so I can see. I'm just looking at the little thumbnail here, trying to make out the thumbnail here. Ryan's DMing, but it doesn't look like Brian and Cucumber are playing at the moment, but Chunk is there. So let's head over to Perception Studio and say hello to them and tell them how much you're looking forward to seeing them on the one-shot roulette. If you've got them, let those phoenixes fly and stick around for the raid, and make sure to refresh onto their channel so it counts as the viewers there, to show them where you came from and get yourself some Dream Pie channel points to help support our adventurers in their endeavors. Mike, thank you for joining us today. An absolute pleasure to have you along for the ride, and I'm looking forward to continuing this story with you all. We shall be back with hopefully with a full crew next week. Okay, thank you everybody. So stick around for that raid if you've got to let those phoenixes fly. But till next time, as we say around these parts, Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi.
Oyasumi.
Bye.
Next time.